professor here?
Yeah.
Oh, for how long?
Oh my goodness, for about 20, 30 years.
But at the annex for 5 years, and then I taught here for 6 or 7 years, and I loved it. And I taught Florence Shipley Gardner, who's the vice principal now.
Our Father in heaven, we thank thee for this evening that you have allowed so many of us to return to where we began our secondary education. We thank thee, O God, that as we look at faces now, we know that you have been good to so many of us, and we pause at this time to say thank you.
Yes.
You know, one thing I remember, when they shot the president, Kennedy, you know,
yes.
I was on duty down in the hall there, and one girl ran out of the gym, the girls' gym was here then, and she said, oh, this is what those fools shoot the president for. Yeah, yes, and then it was bedlam down there. You know, those narrow walks.
And the bell, it got quiet over the whole building, and everybody began to cry. We were stunned.
We were in a meeting, and the girl came and said, the president has been shot. We sat in horror. And the minute the president is dead, everybody got up and went home.
Yeah.
And saw the rest of it. We were horrified.
Took me to camp.
All over the United States to say everybody knows exactly what he was doing when Kennedy was
Stunned. Couldn't believe it.
I'm an alumnus of Booker T, class of 58, but I'm here representing my mother, Lois Stubblefield, who was a longtime librarian here at Booker T.
Louis Richardson, classroom teacher from 1954 to 1962. A student of Booker T, leaving Booker T in 1943 to matriculate at Douglas High School.
And where'd you go from there?
When I left Douglas High School, Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. And after I left Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, I went into the service. And then when I left the service, I started teaching here at Booker T in 1954. I taught here from 54 to 62, and I was transferred to Lombard Junior High School. And then in 1966, I went to Edmondson High School as an assistant principal. I became principal of Edmondson High School in 1970. I stayed there until 1973, at which time I became secondary director of secondary education. Then in 1973, I became a regional superintendent. In 1976, I became a deputy superintendent. I served as a deputy superintendent from 1976 to 1984. In 1984, I was moved to an assistant superintendent, and I retired from the Baltimore City Public School System in 1988.
So are you retired, or did you retire on to something else?
I was retired, and I did some work with the present superintendent for a short period of time. And then, of course, I've been involved with several organizations as relates to education and the health services. I've also been teaching at Morgan State University in the doctoral program. And I've been doing that since 1984.
Thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome.
So that's where you are presently, at Morgan State?
Well, on a real part-time basis, this will be my last semester. I'll be teaching in the fall, but this will be the last semester for me.
So what does the future hold for you?
To take it easy and relax.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
My name is Gwendolyn Brooks Stewart, and here at Booker T I taught English, and the main responsibility was with the Booker T Bulletin.
My name is Mary Sue Welcome, and I did not attend Booker T. My mother did, and I'm here to accept the honor on her behalf. However, I do have a connection. She was a student and went on to become the state senator for the state of Maryland. And I did have a connection to the school. I taught here after I graduated from college. I taught here for just a summer before I went to law school. And now, of course, I'm working with the students, helping them to get uniforms for the 6th grade.
and gentlemen, the Arts Academy Concert Band, Mr. Shelton Goins. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you home. Home to Booker T. Yesterday, I had the distinct privilege of presiding over a program for today's Booker T students, the now of our then, now, and forever. You just heard some real live voices now in the Music Academy, the Arts Academy Concert Choir, under the direction of Mr. Hugh Carey. I'd like to introduce you now to those seated on stage before you. My classmate, my buddy, the home girl around the corner, Mosier Street, is Priscilla Lancey. You know, I don't know what you feel about today's young people, but all the news certainly isn't bad. When I arrived late this morning, there was a young man standing in the doorway of McCulloh St, and he was very polite, and I asked him his name, and he told me his name was Donald Williams. Well, Donald, no one's here? No, sir. I've been just standing here waiting. Donald was waiting to come to the auditorium to rehearse the address he's going to give to you in just a few moments. I think he deserves a round of applause for his diligence. Reverend Johnson, you met in giving the invocation, and he's been an integral part of the beginning of our Friends of Booker T salute to Booker T, Reverend Johnson. The JJ is for James W. Our co-chair for this event, yesterday, Lorraine Duggar told me that you and she were classmates, but your name wasn't Black, and your name wasn't Roberts. We'd like to introduce Mrs. Emma Black Roberts. I knew this lady as a staff member of Booker T, faculty member of Booker T, but I knew her crazy trombone playing son even more, and he's out there in the audience now, Eddie. But we'd like to introduce to you, and you're going to hear something great from her later on, Ms. Beatrice Carrington Myers. A poem so good, it made her cry, which made us cry, and you're going to have the privilege of hearing it later. Ms. S. Diane Williams. And she believes so much in Booker T that she has a student currently attending. Principal of Booker T. Washington Middle School, Ms. Ruth Buckman. Duggar, why are you always bothering me? That's all I ever hear from this man. He always wants something, Duggar. Well, we wanted him to be here because, believe it or not, until tonight, he's the only inducted member of the Booker T. Washington Hall of Fame. So we said, you've got to come and induct the others. And we're glad he made it, taking his precious time away from whatever he thought was more important until we told him this is family. Mr. George L. Russell, Jr. Talking about family, I didn't know until we were in a meeting one day that indeed he is family to Mrs. Emma Black Roberts, who's going to come and bring us the occasion.
I too want to welcome you this evening to this auspicious occasion. 60 years ago, I was a ninth grader, having entered this school as a peony, because that's what they called the seventh graders at that time. Tonight, we come together to reunite, to recall our rich heritage, and to glorify and salute the cream of our society in politics, education, religion, entertainment, judicial system, and other community services. Recently, I traveled to East Africa, and I saw the tree of life, the baobab tree. This tree is massive, lives to be about 1,000 years old, and their roots grow deep, searching for nourishment and water. Our Booker T roots grow deep and have spread far and wide, ever trying to search for new things for Booker T. In the many years of this existence, Booker T has really gone through some changes. Let's reflect a little on some of the things that were different when we went to school. We didn't use computers or calculators to complete assignments. We weren't able to view documentaries on television because there weren't any. We did not write with ballpoint pens or draw with magic markers because there weren't any. We walked to Druid Hill Park and sat on the grass and didn't smoke it. Pot was something that you cooked in. A Coke was something we drank, and it was not drug addictive. There were no credit cards. A pencil was 1 cent. We could mail a letter for 2 cents and send a penny postcard. Gasoline was 11 cents, and if you so desired, you could buy a car for $600, new. Guys didn't wear earrings, and when you talked about sex, it was just to designate whether you were male or female. Tommy Tucker's was the West Baltimore 5 and dime store. A Hershey bar was 5 cents, a pack of gum was 5 cents. And then you ran on down the street to Arundel's and you could buy an ice cream cone for 5 cents and 2 dips for 10. You could make a phone call for a nickel, ride a streetcar for a nickel, and transfer was free. There wasn't any McDonald's, but we survived without the present day amenities. If these hallowed walls could talk, they would probably say, thanks for this celebration. From 1931 until now, the teachers, students, and administrators have built a strong academic bridge for us to cross. And they have laid a firm foundation of integrity, academic fortitude, bonded with devotion and sincere dedication. What is this occasion? Why are we here this evening? We are here to salute you, Booker T. We are here to salute you, Booker T, then, now, and forever, and induct into the Hall of Fame those persons who are so deserving. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the program that we have planned for you.
This building and school have a very rich history. The original building was completed in 1894, and it was called Western High School. In 1927, the building was turned over to Negroes, who moved in the next year and renamed it Booker T. Washington Junior High School. This school was the second segregated junior high school in Baltimore. In 1928, the Tuesday after Easter, Booker T opened. The late P.D.G. Pennington was the teacher in charge of the Old Frederick Junior High School at Pennsylvania Avenue and Dolphin Street. He, along with 750 students, walked to the block-long building. In September of that year, the school opened with a faculty consisting of a principal, vice principal, 38 teachers, and 1,325 students. The first principal was William Anderson, and the first vice principal was Vivian Cook. During the school's first year, Coppin Normal School was housed on the Lafayette Avenue side. In those days, faculty members at Booker T shared their many talents, appearing on programs with and for their students. William Bill Kenny, singer of the Ink Spots, was discovered by Louis Mary, a geography teacher. On Armistice Day, Harry Hunt, an English teacher, would wear his World War I uniform and relate his adventures in the war. The Paradise of Children was Booker T's first musical production, directed by Houston Jackson, talented students, Harriet Brown, Ivory Washington, Titus Heyman, and Bill Kenny had lead parts. In 1928, the fourth floor was added, which housed the home economics department. Catherine Adams taught home management for girls, and shop was offered for boys.
At this point in time, we're going to turn to our theme, then, now, and forever. On yesterday, in speaking with our young people, I addressed them with the question of why in the world would people from 60 and 50 and 40 and 30 years ago come back to a junior high school. This is something reserved for high school and college kinds of situations. But there was some magic that occurred in these walls. From this stage, I was engaged in a real battle to win that declamation contest, and I lost. But Francine Porter that day was far better than I was. I can still see her now. Yesterday, I'm glad to say I've heard some of this presentation, but you know, Mrs. Myers isn't going to leave it at yesterday. So today, we're going to call Mrs. Beatrice Carrington Myers to the stage, class of 33, to discuss with us Booker T, then.
I think the committee has thrown me a curve. I had no idea that I had anything to say today because I thought I had said it all yesterday. You want me to tell you what Booker T was like in the past? That's a tale that could last and last and last and last from the rising of the sun to the setting. When I entered this school, and I'm going to tell you how many years ago, 67 years ago, and you know I wasn't a child in the kindergarten. I was a scared little seventh grader going into a school where there were lots and lots and lots of children, lots and lots and lots of teachers, and I was scared. I found out that my classmates were as scared as I was. What was Booker T like then? We came in the days before the Supreme Court outlawed God and the Bible, so that at the beginning of each homeroom, at 9 o'clock you could hear a hymn of praise, because we realized that we were all here only by the grace of God. And after that, we would have scripture quotations, then a pledge of allegiance to the flag, and then a pledge to Booker T. Said, I pledge myself daily to be regular and punctual in attendance, to make my class work better, to conduct myself becomingly, and to be loyal in the support of my school. And at the end of that, we said, nothing but the best for Booker T. Now that was given to us, that was every morning. No wonder we behaved ourselves, because we knew that we would be a dishonor to the school and to our teachers if we did anything else. If any of us got a little out of hand, we were called back and very lovingly said, well, now you will have to sit down and memorize this, because we never want you to forget it. I, as a student of Booker T, must always conduct myself becomingly. I will not lie, cheat, or say mean things about anybody else. I would only say to somebody else and do to somebody else what I would want somebody else to say and do to me. A child who plays his time away is a menace, not only to himself, but to his school. I must make my school proud of me. I will exemplify nothing but the best for Booker T.
I never thought a school could mean so much to me until the doors swung open to a school called Booker T. 'Twas on September 9th, a day so bright and clear, I was happier than anyone I knew who was entering the school that year. Loving every minute of it, I wasn't afraid one tiny bit. I met all my new teachers and all my classmates too, and went to all my classes before the day was through. The teachers were very nice to me, and they never kept me after 3. The first year seemed to be so long, seeing the same old faces, singing the same old song. Oh, but the second year, I really must say, was more exciting than the first in more than one way. Why, the bells didn't ring as loud as before, and the singing of the glee club didn't make you close your door, and the art students were drawing better each day, and the swinging band of Mr. Nolan deserved a little pay. And what about the principal, the one they called the Barker? He's not what they say, but a man of fair play. His name is Mr. Parker. Then you're at the final year. The year you've been waiting for. The teachers you weren't too fond of are the ones you'd better adore. Because apples and candy and cards of pink won't tell you what the teachers think, for no one knows what's being written in that little book. And later you'll find, after playing around, your goose has really been cooked. So, it's time to leave the school you love. And it's time for the dreams you've been dreaming of. But I'll miss my old teachers and my old classmates too. And if you were a friend of mine, I shall miss you too. So, goodbye, cafeteria, where I ate every day. So long, gymnasium, Shirley's on her way. I'll miss you, dear library, and your wonderful books too. I'll miss you, dear teachers, and will always remember you. Good luck, Mr. Rayner Parker, Miss Ethel Payne, and Mr. Harold Seaborn. May your dreams come true.
Thanks, Diane. Let's talk about Booker T now. To do that, we introduce you to Ms. Ruth Bucketman, principal of Booker T. Washington Middle School.
The now did not begin today. The now began through the extension of the people and the rich traditions of excellence celebrated here tonight in this salute to Booker T. I am very proud to have been charged with the privilege of serving as assistant principal and then as principal of this historic educational institution. In my 11-year tenure as principal, I have seen many changes occur in education in Baltimore City, but at Booker T, one ideal has remained constant: nothing but the best for Booker T.
Well, here's my friend, Donald Williams, who was waiting in the school door to deliver this message to you. Come on, Donald.
Yesterday, at the school assembly, I learned about a young man who went to Booker T and made some trouble in the auditorium because he was so good at singing. The teacher made him sing, and he went on to become very famous. His name was Bill Kenny, and one of his most famous songs was If I Didn't Care. I think all of you tonight show care for me because you are here talking about the love for Booker T. Now, I love to sing, and I think I'm pretty good. My teacher, Mr. Curry, has told me that I have been accepted into the Booker T. Washington Middle School Arts Academy. I am very proud of this. I make this promise. I make this promise to try to learn all I can, sing the best I can, and maybe be famous too. And I won't make trouble in the auditorium. I promise to come back to Booker T 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now and sit where you are and say just like everybody else, we love dear Booker T. Thank you.
Run on for a long time. You may run on for a long time. I may run on for a long time. Somebody gonna run down. Go ahead, run on. Hey, night, run on. Can't run on. I tell you what, somebody gonna run down. It got with me tonight. Morning star was a witness. I never shall forget that day. Jesus was my sister away. He walked the aisle walking along.
move to what for some could be a can of worms, a political powder keg, dangerous waters in which to tread. But hey, the friends of Booker T went ahead instead. No, it is impossible for us in one fell swoop to make up for all of those times when Booker T should have been giving its salute. But we decided to increase the number from Mr. George L. Russell Jr. by many more in 1997. And we trust that you find this so interesting that you took time in the hallway out there to suggest for ongoing salutes the names of those people whom you feel would be representative of the Booker T spirit. We've done our best and we've left some out. Some people are angry with us, but we didn't mean it. Trust us. We'll get to you too. To all of you who are friends of Booker T. Our first inductee, Mr. Hubert R. Blackwell, student, World War II pilot, and one of the Tuskegee Airmen. Please, Mr. Doris Blackwell. Ms. Willie Buck Bland, student, founder of the Flair Modeling Agency and Dance Studio, and you just read about her granddaughter in the Sun papers within the last few weeks. See, I do still read, Uncle George. Mrs. Bland, please come forward. The award certificate to our co-chairperson, Mrs. Roberts, who will sign these for you. Come on over and say something to us. Or?
This is such a wonderful opportunity. I am truly thrilled to be back here at Booker T. And may I just also include that my daughter, who also graduated from Booker T, Diane Brown, who is the feature editor of the Columbia Flyer. Miss Lucas, who taught her English, reminded Diane that she was her English teacher when she won the citywide spelling bee, so she wasn't on that exceptional list. Diane, would you please stand, my daughter, Diane, and we're just pleased that she's here with us tonight. To all who made this occasion possible, thank you. Thank you.
We're talking civics, we're talking geography, we're talking life in Senator Clarence Blount's class. Never a dull moment did Tommy Jackson, Andrew Woodson, Chauncey Lindsay, and all of us have. Here he comes now, our science teacher, our mentor, a student, educator, school principal, Maryland State Senator, himself, Senator Clarence Blount.
And it's going to be brief, which shall surprise you even more. Thank you. I share this with my wife, Edith Gordine Blount, a graduate of Booker T. Washington Junior High School, and my family. I'm not making a speech. Thanks for all the teachers who taught me here, and thanks for those with whom I have worked over the years. And thank the now, because you certainly make us proud. Thank you very much.
We love dear Booker T. Our hearts are true. We hold its ideals high, and we hope that you will too.
First of all, I give honor to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for giving me just an opportunity to stand. Whenever I walk through Booker T, all of my teachers really made an impact on my life, but there are those that just jump out to you. My mother died in the year of 1973. I was retained in the 8th grade that year. But this lady took me under her wing, and that's Miss Dolores Campbell. She really took me under her wing, and I thank her and I love her for that. And you really needed somebody to lean on you, just as you needed somebody to lean on. And so I thank God for Coach, physical education teacher, Mr. Monroe, who would lean on you, and Roy Pope, who would not spare the rod. Thank you so much.
I'm sure my father has been placed in a lot of Hall of Fames, but I'm sure he would be happy to know, because he was such a kind of a hyperactive person in his school days, that he would be happy to know that he is now in the Booker T Hall of Fame. He carried the name of Booker T and Douglas High School all over the world, and we are proud of that. And great people come from great instruction and work with other great people. So thank you very much for this honor.
It was about 36 years or so ago, I guess, that a young man full of hope and promise got on a bus over in East Baltimore, number 21, and got off that bus just in the nick of time at Dolphin and McCulloh, and walked 1 block north and entered what I consider to be these hollowed halls. My family had done a wonderful job of working with the raw material that a young man was at that time and still is, and had their faith in the teachers and administrators here at Booker T that they would take that raw material and shape a man of moral judgment, intellectual fortitude, and spiritual understanding. And I think frequently about the effects of people like Ms. Myers, Mr. Harrison, Dolores Campbell, and so many others, as they molded that clay, not really knowing what they were making, but communicating to that clay every day in every way several very important lessons. You can be great, you can achieve, you can excel. And I'm sure they weren't sure if they were making a teacher or a judge or a scientist. I'm sure Mr. Brown knew he wasn't making an athlete. I said to him tonight, I still can't climb that rope, Mr. Brown. But that's important, too, to remember about Booker T. Those of us who are fortunate enough to be honored tonight, and of course there's so many others, far more deserving, learned another very important lesson here at Booker T. That failure is really an opportunity. And just as I couldn't get up that rope for Mr. Brown, I kept trying. And the lessons that I had the good fortune to learn here have brought me to where I am today. And those lessons reverberate in my mind and in my soul every day. And as I look down on these young men and women, so full of promise, aspirations, potential, I just pray that the good work that has been done in the past will continue, and that we will pull together as a community, as a school, and as a society to enable them to achieve their potential like so many of us were fortunate enough to do. I am profoundly, profoundly honored by this occasion. My family is here, and I think that they understand now why I wanted so much for them to be here. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say good evening and thank you very much to everyone who has made this wonderful event so possible. There's so many things to talk about in a little bit of time, so I thought, if you didn't mind, I'd like to sing something to you. Bob Marley from Jamaica wrote so many beautiful songs. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ship. Oh, minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We'll forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? They're all we've ever had, redemption songs, oh, redemption songs. Emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, have no fear of atomic energy, 'cause none of that can stop the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. But won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? They're all we've ever had. Redemption songs, oh, redemption songs. Thank you.
Certainly I did not mean to skip over Andre DeShields, student, music theater personality, creator of the role of the Wiz on Broadway. He was not able to be with us this evening. Georgine Edgerton, student, community activist, known as the mayor of Walbrook. Is there a representative here for her? I understood she was not going to be able to make it this evening. Ethel Ennis really did want to come, and she said to me, Doug, I am truly honored that Booker T. Washington would remember me. But Ethel had a job to do in California singing, which she does very well. In room 112 on the corner there at McCulloh and Lafayette Avenue stood tall and strong a lady who just left us recently, my 9th grade algebra teacher, Ms. Beatrice Hall, career educator and president of the YWCA. In formulating this event, I was given an article written by Louise Kerr Hines, educator and journalist, Afro-American newspaper staff writer. And in that article, she had a picture of her class. And on row 1, seat 4, was a fella that I got to know very well. In fact, so well, I was named after him. Is Ms. Hines present? Come up, please. You don't want to come up? Well, we'll come down and deliver. Uncle George, would you take that to Ms. Hines? Because we certainly, and by the way, anyone who cannot join us on stage, we will be happy to come forward. Uncle George needs the exercise anyhow.
I'm very happy to be here because over 68 years ago, this was a school that I came to after having finished college. And I must say that when I came to Booker T, there was a spirit among the teachers and the students that gave me the inspiration to realize that teaching was not a profession, but a mission. I had such wonderful students as Mrs. Myers in junior high school and Mrs. Charlotte Harper in junior high school at Booker T. Then some of these very fine people like Judge Russell and Senator Blount and Mrs. Emma Roberts Black, and all of these wonderful people came up to Douglas. And when they came to Douglas, they brought the Booker T spirit, because I had been transferred or promoted from 130 to Douglas High School. And so I am indeed happy to say that I had the best of three worlds, because later on, I went as a first black administrator to Western High School. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't hesitate. Thank you very much.
Yesterday, it was summertime, and the living was easy. And we were real happy, weren't we? These guys were there yesterday, weren't you? Well, Ms. Janetta Jones, student, opera singer, mayoral advisor on art and culture, sang Summertime. Ms. Jones, would you join us on stage, please?
Good evening. I am very pleased to receive this award this evening. Yesterday we had a good time. I enjoyed listening to all the wonderful stories about Booker T and what things cost at that time, and there were just many, many wonderful stories. And I hope that we're getting all of this on tape so that everybody can hear and learn about Booker T. There was, someone did the history of Booker T. I certainly would like to have a copy of that. That was so interesting. One thing I would like to correct, though, I am not the first African American to sing at the Metropolitan Opera. I think Marian Anderson is the one who deserves that honor, and certainly Leontine Price after her. But I thank you very much, and I'm so happy that I attended Booker T in Douglas and lived in Baltimore and all those things. Thank you very much.
I met Ron King and the family, stand-up family, Ron King. And come on up here, Mr. King, who's going to receive for Andre King, his brother, student, art instructor, actor, and dancer.
It is with sincere gratitude and appreciation that I, on behalf of the King family, accept this honor and tribute to our brother, Andre King, who recognizes his career and contributions to this institution as a former instructor of the Booker T. Washington Junior High School. By so honoring our brother, you honor us, his family. And so in the interest of time, I would like to say simply, thank you very, very much.
Accepting for E. Gaines Landsey, student, financier, and chairman of the board of Ideal Savings, Federal Savings Bank, is his son, my buddy, Gaines Landsey Jr.
Good evening, fellow honorees, honored guests, fellow alumni, and friends of Booker T. Tonight is very special because oftentimes visionaries fade into history without even an honorable mention. My family is truly grateful to you for the acknowledgement of my dad's business acumen and savvy. Once my dad returned from the Army, he worked alongside his brothers to help run the family business, Druid Hill Laundry. When the days of the laundry were coming to a close, he worked at the U.S. Postal Service and the Small Business Administration, but working for someone else was not his plan. My father, as had his father, along with other men of vision, realized that the only way African Americans would secure loans to purchase real estate would be through a black-owned institution. Everyone nowadays say, do for self. The Ideal Savings and Loan Association was such an example. By pooling his and another investor's resources, the Ideal reactivated in the 1960s. Through his conservative business strategies, the Ideal grew and the community benefited. When the Maryland Savings Share Insurance Association collapsed, Ideal was able to qualify for federal insurance, and thus Ideal Federal Savings Bank was established. My mother, my brothers, my sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, many of whom are here tonight, are all here to support Booker T and to say thank you for this tribute to my dad by inducting him into the Booker T. Washington Hall of Fame.
Let's have that Lansing family stand up there, please. Certainly you're familiar with Thurgood Marshall, student, civil rights attorney, U.S. Supreme Court Justice. We were in search of a representative to be with us tonight for him, and someone's waving, and we are very happy that she has joined us.
Good evening. My name is Marsha Jordan. I was Thurgood Marshall's second cousin. My grandfather, who was Cyrus W. Marshall Sr., and Thurgood's father were brothers. And my mother, Charlotte Marshall Perry, regrets that she could not be here, but she's in Miami with her grandchildren. And I thank you so much for this honor, and I will share it with Thurgood's immediate family. Thank you.
I taught for 9 years before I came to Baltimore. My total teaching years was 42. 20 of those 42 years I spent at Booker T. I thought we had some tough situations out in the counties. And when I came to Baltimore, I expected it to be better. They were just different. They weren't a bit better. I taught mathematics with 55 pupils in a class, 2 classes in one room. Evelyn Faxt taught her class on one side, and I taught my classes on the other side of the room. That was a new experience for me. I also learned that an auditorium can be used for a classroom with no desk, no blackboards. Your lap was used to hold your books and write on. That happened to me at Booker T. I also taught in the cafeteria and competed against the cooks back there handling the pots and pans and making a lot of noise. I taught in the home economics department where we had a table, but we were always smelling good food but never had a chance to eat any of it. I taught also in one little place that I bet you couldn't duplicate it in the whole USA. They had one little room down next to the furnace. It wasn't a room, but they got chairs and set them around, and I taught next to the furnace down in the basement. A Booker T this was.
Booker T has given me a number of experiences that I couldn't have believed were true unless I hadn't lived through them myself. So it's a pleasure to be back to Booker T. And to those of you who come late, you don't know what you missed. But one thing, we never cheated on the children. I stayed after school and worked with them as long as they were interested. And I had some very slow students who were interested. So we spent some very late afternoons working together. But it was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure when you find a person who wants to learn, then you're encouraged to help them. Congratulations to Booker T for what you've done since I've left. And may you continue to reach out and make Booker T the best as possible. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Current national president and CEO of the NAACP, Kwesi Nfume, was unable to join us tonight because of a previous engagement. Congressman Parent J. Mitchell, who was a student at Booker T, and of course a United States Congressman, was also unable to be with us this evening. But this lady was, and she's coming to us from recent hospitalization, but she kept those words coming. And we're going to ask Uncle George to take a stroll and visit with Mrs. Elizabeth Murphy Moss. Mrs. Elizabeth Murphy Moss, student, vice president, publisher of the Afro-American newspaper, journalist, and if you ask me, and you're going to hear what Mrs. Moss has to say about this. You can believe it in the Afro. We have been entertained and enlightened, and we would now like to celebrate Ms. Beatrice Carrington Myers, student, career educator in the languages Latin, English, and French. Mrs. Myers.
It's so nice to have some flowers while you can still smell them. Thank you very much.
Ronald Robeson, student, Fulbright scholar, artist, musician, humanities chair at Howard Community College. Accepting for him, Ms. Enise Black Bloom.
Good evening. Ron Roberson has been a longtime friend, childhood sweetheart even, taught me to play marbles, and we went on to perfume. We even built a go-kart with a steering mechanism. So we were into critical thinking even back then. That's popular now. So on his behalf, he is at an internet conference in New York. I thank you very much.
A fixture at Booker T, and unfortunately we were unable to get him to join us this evening. And half of us came out here to see him tonight too, I tell you. Mr. Harold A. Seaborn, career educator, teacher of Latin and English. Probably the most well-known person in my generation as far as Booker T is concerned. But I tell you what, he still looks the same. He still goes to the same barber shop, and I catch up with him every now and then. Here's that other person. Doug, I thought you were going to lose weight. There must be a message in it. Mr. Powell Sheffy, career educator, industrial arts, science teacher, magnificent gentleman.
I wish to express that this is a great privilege for me to meet my co-workers over the years, and I believe this is the first time I've been in this building. No, it hasn't, Ms. Buckman. I've been since you've been here. And I really thank the committee for giving me this privilege to come back, because at this time I'm in a retirement center, and they don't let me out of the cage often.
When I was student teaching at Calverton Middle School today, then junior high school, I was observed by Mrs. Josie Smith. And horror of horrors, on the board was a misspelled word. And she called me over afterwards and said, "Mr. Duggar, you know how to spell that word." And you know, when you're writing on a board, sometimes you can't see what you've written. I knew I'd written it correctly, but I found out that I was wrong, and that's why she's 100 plus, and I'm still trying to go on. Career educator, the field of English, supervisor of secondary English, and we're going to bring this to you, Ms. Smith. Ms. Josie Goodrich Smith. 1 century.
Friends, I'm pleased to be among all of the other luminaries. I hope that Booker T has not forgotten 130 Annex, the annex to Booker T, and I thank you for this award.
How they go. If I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care, would I feel this way? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still? If I didn't care. Having a party, yeah, we're having a party tonight. We're having a party at Booker T. We're having a party one more time. We're having a party. All right. We're dancing to the music, yes, played by the DJs. All ready, yo, the cokes are in the ice box, yeah, and the popcorn's on the table. And me and my baby, yes, y'all, we out here on the floor. Everybody swing. We're having a party tonight. We're having love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you. Sing, fellas, sing. Are the stars out tonight? I want all the ladies to come to the stage. All the ladies, single or married, come to the stage. Come on, ladies. All the ladies come to the stage. Turn the lights on. Now hurt yourself down. Make sure you but I should not see a thing in the sky because I only maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear. Millions and millions and millions go by.
Let's hear it again for the Blue Lights. You all were excellent. 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 Now, I'd like to sing a song for you. It's a remake of a Linda Ronstadt tune, one of my favorites. And I'm hoping that it'll be a nice ending to a very nice night. I've enjoyed myself, and I'm hoping that you all have done just the same. It's called You're No Good. And I like to sing this song, and it's about no good. I call him no good because that's what he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lisa McCulloh. He may be no good, but it doesn't describe her. We want to thank all of you for hanging around. We're only about 1 100 minutes later than we were supposed to be getting out of here. But we really had a good time. One more time, we want to thank Mr. Roy Freeman, the custodian for Booker T, who's still hanging here with us tonight. And this man has worked like no person I've ever seen to make sure that this school was pleasurable and comfortable to you tonight. Thank you, Brother Freeman. We'll let her take it on home.